What up, YouTube? Welcome to the next installment of the PizzaCam animatronic restoration project. And last video we finished up the valves and we tested them and they appeared to be working good. So we're going to actually connect the valves to the bot. So exciting times, right? And luckily this bot is small enough I can put it on my workbench so I can work on it from a comfortable position. So we got the bot here. We got the valves over here. I figured if I wire it up like this, it'll make the hoses long enough for convenience. And I got plenty of hose, but it's probably going to end up being a mismatch because I'm not going to buy any new hose. I'm just going to use what I have. And let's see how it works out. And this will be a good testimony to how good my organization skills are, because I want to be digging through stuff that I ramsacked. So probably the first thing we're going to do is take a look at this quick disconnect and make sure that it would be airworthy. So join me, shall you? Okay, here's the quick disconnect. It looks like it's loose, so I guess it was loose from when I first got it, and it has some markings on it. I'll go ahead and remark it before I take it apart, or maybe I won't. I guess I won't because I can't find my permanent marker. Okay, obviously I can tell the purple hose was the mouth. No O-rings. So actually we'll try to clean up this surface, get it nice and clean. And it's a little crusty in there, so we'll definitely be clearing that out. Now, these O-rings I have laying around, but I think they're too big for... No, I guess they're the right O-rings. They do seem like they might be a little too big. But I think they'll work, so I'll go ahead and use these. I remember these O-rings, I forget what size they were. They were readily available at Lowe's because they're the same size as something that you use for faucets. So actually, I think I'm going to have to get out the simple green to really clean these out. There's a splitter here. So let's think about this. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 isn't being used because 6 was used for the head raise. So we got mouth, left lid, right lid, eyes cross. So eyes cross, I thought would have a T up at the... Because eyes cross uses two separate actuators, I thought it would have a T up by the actual figure, but look, it actually has a T down here. So I'm going to go and clean these up real good and we'll come back. Okay, we're back and I cleaned up all the quick disconnects, and now it's time to add these a little bit oversized O-rings to it, but I think they'll do the job. And I'm going to coat these O-rings in Parker O-ring lube. Oh. Plus, coating them in lube will help them stick so they don't move around before you connect the two sides together. But you want to make sure that you don't have... Parker O-ring lube can clog up air lines. So you want to make sure that you don't have any globs there like that. So now we got to connect the two halves together. Now when I pulled the quick disconnects apart, they only had a bolt and a nut. So I went and I got 4 fender washers and 2 lock washers to use that instead. And according to the impressions on the aluminum there, that's what they were using previously. Oh, that other bolt is hiding. Well, they were at least using fender washers. Okay, so we gotta quench this down without moving any of the O-rings. And on the bottom side, put a fender washer, lock washer, and nut. Oh. You think that's a 7/16? No, it's probably a 3/8. I haven't been working, so forgive me if I don't know my bolt sizes. Let me think about that. No, I bet you it's a 7/16. And bingo, I was right, it was 7/16. Typically, you want to try to always turn the nut. Sometimes it's not possible, but whenever possible, you want to turn the nut. And you want to smash these down enough to make so it makes a nice clean seal. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Okay, quick disconnect is done. Now we can begin hosing up between the valves and the quick disconnect. But of course the flow controls go in between there, with the exception of the mouth. The mouth flow controls go up as close to the actuator as possible. Okay, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to start with the eyes crossed, because eyes crossed, since it's a single action cylinder, has 2 flow controls on one line. So you take the flow controls and you put them in 2 opposite directions like that. And then that way you can control both sides of the actuator. Now the color code system I use is the orange hoses go to the head side of the actuator. So the fitting on the eyes cross is on the butt side of the actuator, so that would be blue. And let me get some hose cutters. So you always want to use hose cutters because it's the best way to have a square cut. So we're going to stick the 2 together like this. And another thing I learned from my Pasquale bot is you don't want these hoses all kinked together because they'll pop off the fitting real easily. But when that happens, I usually just add a tie strap. So I cross 1, 2, 3. It's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I cross goes there. And then that will set the standard to the length between the valve bank and the quick disconnect. So it's going to go right there. Okay, so then I'll try to make it neat. We'll work our way back and forth out. So the next one will be an eyelid. So eyelids we want normally open, and then the base to be pressurized during activation. So the base is blue, so the blue is going to be on top for the eyelids. And then we want it to be to this flow control. Now, flow controls, you want to regulate the exhaust. And there's an arrow on here. I assume the arrow shows what side it regulates, but to tell you the truth, I can't remember. So I'm going to have to go to my Pasquale bot and reference that. Okay, the arrow on these flow controls are the side being regulated. So you want that facing the valve bank. And then orange for the other side. Well, I hope they're all not that hard to take off, or that's going to be a bummer. Oh wow, this isn't. Yeah, and it's funny, the orange ones, even though these tubes are exactly the same size, since the orange ones, I guess, has different dye in it or whatever, they're a little tougher to put on there. 4. I messed up. Well, good thing I figured that out relatively early. I flipped this the wrong way. Okay, then we'll go on the other side. 5 is head left, and head left, we want it facing straight. We want the stroke side actuator to be yeah, this is gonna fight me on every single one. So we want blue to be on the bottom. Nope. Hopefully I'm not in the way. Let me move you guys in a little bit. Okay, blue, and then finally orange. Okay, so now we just had to do these two. And actually, hopefully I can salvage one of these so I can end up... That's insane. Nope, I'm not going to be able to salvage one of these. Oh no, I'm being an idiot. I'm not thinking right. I was going to say, I got to salvage these to block off these. Well, actually that is true because the head up's going to be cycling. So I do need to salvage one of them. So I was thinking right. Okay, there we go. So orange goes on the bottom of this one. Okay, and then since the last one's the mouth, and the mouth is going to go straight up to, or the flow controls are going to be up by the mouth, we just put straight through cables. And then blue. Oh, I kinked the hose. That's exactly what you don't want to do. You see, I made that one a little too short, but